pretty unbelievable, but we had another controversy on Doc Lucky's Yo-Yo Talk last week, just off the heels of having an incorrect answer listed for the pop quiz the previous week. So this last week, it was the lightning round what was the problem. As it turns out, we initially thought that Rick Rentz had won the lightning round fair and square, scoring that really cool HPN, that HPN Envy, because that's what the comments on the timeline showed us as we were live. But then the Nickanator filed a challenge, which we just assumed was a pathetic sour grapes attempt at easing the pain of him being body slammed by Rick and also losing all of his Nickanator groupies all in one question. But no, after the show, we could view the actual timeline to the second, which we can't do while it's live on the air. And indeed, the Nickanator, once again, was the first person to answer correctly according to the official comment timecode. So there you have it. The Nickanator wins the HPN Envy and also maintains his superstar rock and roll status with his groupies. And just to remind everybody how dominant he is in the yo-yo trivia world, he then repeated with the big win at the end of the show, taking the grand prize for the whole shebang. I understand his groupies are ecstatic. Now, the Nickanator has a short message for the rest of us losers.
Lucky, I may have misspoken last week. Maybe you can have too many yo-yos. And look, the envy. How appropriate.
Well, last week, the Nickanator also submitted an entry for the Celebrity Yo-Yoer contest. And although I did give him credit for thinking out of the box, I did believe it was a bit cheesy that he was out there hunting for a celebrity yo-yoer for hire. But the rules didn't say you couldn't pay someone to be your celebrity, so the entry was accepted. And this is Nick's retort on the pay-to-play issue.
Nay, 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 Lucky. It was a coupon, Groupon for free.
Groupon? Coupon. I should have known. Nick is way too cheap to pay for a celebrity. So kudos to Nick for coming up with that little diabolical plan. His amazing stunt added 3 more groupies to his stable, or so I have heard. But nevertheless, we have another challenge in the Celebrity Yo-Yoer contest submitted by Jay Madigan. Jay is a non-yo-yoer, but he is a frequent follower of the show, and he is trying to get more groupies in his stable. We'll see right now if his submission rises to the groupie acquirement level.
Here's Rowdy Gaines, Olympic gold medalist 3 times over, Olympic Hall of Fame, NBC sportscaster for the Olympics. He's a yo-yo man too. Take it away, Rowdy.
Thank you, Jay, so much. I have been yo-yoing all my life, so this is a big shout out to Doc Lucky's Yo-Yo Talk. And trust me, everybody who even thinks about tackling me is going to be in trouble. I can do it all. No, I can't. But if I can do Rock the Baby, I dare any celebrity to even try that, right? I am ready to rock right now.
Just a little side note here. Rowdy happens to be a good buddy of mine through swimming. We actually host an open water race together in the fall, but not this year, thank you, COVID-19. And Rowdy actually came to one of the Yo-Yo World Championships that were held here in Orlando with me back in the day. But clearly, based on the yo-yo skills that he just demonstrated, he did not pick up very much from the visit. But I do appreciate him taking part in our Celebrity Yo-Yoer contest. The contest is still going on. We've got 3 good, solid entries right now. Your job, viewers, is to get out there and start beating the bushes for more potential entries. I understand the Nickanator has already reached out to both the Biden and Trump campaigns, but has yet to to receive any response. So this competition is still wide open. The GT is just waiting to get into some worthy person's hands, as well as that 100 trillion Zimbabwe dollar bill. Tonight I have a special guest, Mike Burke, the National Marketing Manager for Duncan Yo-Yos. We will be having a little chit-chat here in a few minutes with Mike to get caught up with what's going on in the Duncan world. And this will be right after the lightning round quiz. Be thinking about some burning questions that you might have for Mike, and feel free to put them in the comment section right now so we get them in time for us to talk about them while Mike is on. But let's see what's in the prize package the Nickanator is going to win tonight. Okay, let's see what's shaking with our giant prize package for tonight for the pop quiz later in the show. As usual, we got a couple books here, Lucky's Collector's Guide to 20th Century Yo-Yos and the Zombie Cause Dictionary. Oh, look what yo-yos coming with the Zombie Cause Dictionary this week. It is my favorite Zombie Cause yo-yo, the Doc Ruger yo-yo. You can't beat that. There are 5 in that series, but that is the best one in my mind. So, Doc Ruger yo-yo, and then off to the right there, you've got a Doc Lucky yo-yo. And let's see what else we got here. Oh, look at that. There in the middle, we have a Glow yo-yo. That's the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs Glow yo-yo. That was a General Mills promotion along with Duncan. That's a Duncan ad yo-yo. Those were very cool. Nice Glow yo-yo. That was in 1990, I believe. Here is a clip of the commercial advertising this yo-yo. Another fine example of a children's toy being used to promote crack cocaine for children in the form of sugary cereal foods, which I fully enjoyed when I was growing up. There is a very fine Duncan Flambeau Neo yo-yo, no longer made. That's about 20 years old. We've got a 57 Chevy there, Spectra Star. That's one of those sculpted yo-yos that Spectra Star is so well known for. There's a lot of folks out there that love the Spectra Star. There's another one, the Leaping Lizard, which I believe, as I recall, was in the very first series of the Spectra Star. Why they decided to name this the Leaping Lizard, I do not understand. It looks like it is a lizard curled up in the ball, looking like if you touch it, it will bite your freaking hand. And here is a Duncan Flambeau string pack with a little piece of wax in it. If you recall, in the early days, you had to wax your strings to get long spin times. Now you just spend tons of money getting a ball-bearing transaxle made out of plutonium, but it was a lot cheaper with the wax. There is a set of early Pro-Yos, Oriental Trading Company little flag yo-yo. I think they still make those. Here's a set of blank early Duncan yo-yos that were unstamped from the 60s. Great for carving. Sir Duncan spin top. Let's see what else. Oh, here we have a Spectra Star Star Trek yo-yo. Originally, I thought this was the Nickanator signature photo yo-yo, but it turns out this is just some ugly dude alien from Star Trek. Okay, I think it's about time to look and find out what the value of this vast prize package is. So let's get right to our calculations. And there you have it. This prize package is worth an amazing $214. This will go to the individual that is the quickest in answering the pop quiz near the end of the show, and I wish everybody good luck except for the Nickanator. Okay, that looks like a pretty good prize package for the Nickanator. But before we get to the lightning round and Mike Burke, I want to show you guys a few of the yo-yos that I picked up this week. First, I picked up this Guinness World Record yo-yo. Let me show you. There's a few of them out there. Here's a couple other ones that I've gotten in my collection. Nothing too special about these yo-yos, but I feel quite obligated to grab them when I find them. I have no idea the dates or the value on any of these, but most of them are in the $10 to $12 range. I also found these cheesy little Chinese yo-yos that look like from a distance like they're a lot better playing yo-yo than they are. These are the equivalent of an Oriental Trading Company yo-yos, which were made to look like a more modern competition yo-yo. Although they do have a transaxle, it's certainly not a ball bearing. And however, unlike an Oriental Trading Company tin yo-yo, which is completely unplayable, this one you can actually do a few tricks with. They're just basic tricks. Ultimately, this yo-yo is an NWP yo-yo, not worth the postage. And great, I have one for trade, but maybe I can trade one with the Nickanator because I understand he has lots of duplicates right now. Finally, I picked up this Guns N' Roses yo-yo. I like their song, I like their group. I have several of their songs on my playlist, so I had to have it. And I'll show you a few other yo-yos in this rock and roll category that I've picked up over the years. Here is an Elton John yo-yo. It's kind of cheap and not impressive. And here's a Madonna, a little better quality yo-yo than the Elton John, a little more playable. Although some of these can be listed quite high, if you keep on the lookout, you can usually pick up most of these at a very reasonable price. But sometimes when they're first listed, they're outrageous. Here is an NSYNC yo-yo. Following that, we got a Spice Girls here. Now, this was on the card back when it was released, so you really ought to collect it on the card. Here's New Kids on the Block yo-yo. This one was a Spectre Star yo-yo, also should be collected on the card. It's probably a $10, $12 yo-yo generally on the card. We've got a Cat Stevens. Now, this is actually a wooden yo-yo. This is a yo-yo that was featured on the cover of the Cat Stevens album. This is early 70s. So very nice collectible yo-yo here. And especially if you have the album that featured this yo-yo on the cover as well. So kind of cool there. Also have a kind of cool Monkees yo-yo. Yes, I am of that generation where the Monkees were playing. Now, this may be a fantasy piece. If it is, it's really worthless. But if it's real, if it's the real deal, then that Monkees yo-yo is worth quite a pretty penny. Now, this next piece, this Ozzy Osbourne yo-yo from the 98 Ozfest. This is kind of cool. It's got two medallions, very heavy yo-yo. These are pretty collectible on the rock and roll collectible yo-yos. Probably the most collectible of the rock and roll series are these Kiss yo-yos. And this is an interesting one because this presumably is the silver medallion one. This is Ace Frehley. It is rumored that these ones that look like silver are actually 1 ounce silver medallions. If that's the case, then these are worth over $40 each just in the value of the silver. Now, generally these yo-yos are made out of bronze. Here's an example with Gene Simmons. This is the typical way it was packaged, and then it would have a serial number on the back that you can see there. Those usually will sell anywhere in the $50 to $75 range. Now, there's only one other kind of rock and roll memorabilia piece that I'll point out, and this is the Lady Gaga. This is the Wacky Packages artwork for the card that was in the Wacky Packages. Those individual cards sell for $5 to $10 each on eBay, but this original artwork is probably worth $300 to $400. So Just a little overview on some of the rock and roll yo-yos, a little subcategory of yo-yo collecting. It's a lot of fun, especially if you go to concerts and stuff. You can sometimes pick them up, and they're always up on eBay as well. So a lot of fun collecting those type of yo-yos, and I enjoy picking them up when they appear. So let's move on into our lightning round for tonight. But first, we are going to show you what you are playing for in this lightning round. Okay. Beyond. I need to. Okay, so this is the Freehand from 2004 World Yo-Yo Contest. This was donated by Mike Burke. And we're real excited to be playing for this particular yo-yo. I started checking the prices, and each year the value of that yo-yo keeps going up and up. Now it's selling in the upper $30 range, so in another year or two this is going to be a $40, $50 yo-yo for sure. And even better, he is signing this yo-yo, so he will be sending this directly from his house to your house. So good luck to everybody with this lightning round. Now, I want to say that Tatiana, I think you signed in. You're not allowed to answer this question. So everybody else, this is a question. The answer actually to this question is in this box right here. So we're going to go on and just show that lightning round question right now. What is Sean's favorite color for yo-yos? And the answers are coming in fast. How we doing there?
We haven't got any yet.
No, we're still waiting on those responses to come in. It is easy. You just pick a color and hope you get the right one. And it is in this box right here. Sean's favorite color for yo-yos. So if you happen to know what Sean's...
We're getting answers.
We got,
oh my God!
Who?
We got a winner.
Oh, who's the winner? Is it Nick? Is it the Nickanator?
It is not.
It is not the Nickanator. Oh my God! His streak has been broken. Who is it?
It's John Marshall.
John Marshall. Congratulations. I think, John, that's a first-time winner for you. Well, the answer was, if you looked at the comment section, was purple. Sean's favorite yo-yo color is purple. So there you have it. So congratulations to John, and we will be getting that 2004 Duncan Freehand signed by Mike Burke right out to you. So are we ready for bringing Mike on? I know we got a lot of questions already for.
I think we are ready.
All right, let's put Mike on now and see how he's doing. Hey.
Hey, Lucky.
Oh, let me,
How you doing, man?
plug in here so I can hear you. Okay, great. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So
I've seen a little bit of the show here and there. I saw Dano on, but other than that, I haven't seen a lot of him. So.
Well, now you're here and you're live, and we're going at it. And I just want to say that I went through all my stuff to honor Duncan Yo-Yos to find my oldest shirt. And I don't even know if you recognize this. This is Yo-Yo Players Internationals. Do you even remember that?
I know of it, but no, I don't
Okay.
remember. I've never seen that shirt, so
70s.
that's awesome.
This is 70s.
Yes.
I can feel the little moths crawling around in the back right now as we speak. So anyway, hey, we've got I've got some stuff I want to ask you, but I know we've been getting a bunch of questions coming in from the viewers. One of the first questions was Rick Rentz wanted to know what this year, 2020, which of course is COVID 1984, 2020. What is the best-selling yo-yo Duncan has right now going off?
Well, it's still Imperial.
The
Imperial and the butterfly.
Oh.
Yeah, the butterfly is right behind it.
Great. So go back to old
yeah.
schools. The old standard Imperial is still kicking, huh? Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean it's actually unbelievable how quantity-wise, and it's still probably dollar-wise as well, but quantity-wise.
Now, are these in-store sales mostly, or are you getting a lot of?
It's both.
Both. Okay, great.
Yeah, it's both. In store, online. Obviously, with COVID, it's we're always the whole line went up. Sure. So as much as I hope COVID ends, it's been good for us because I think, and hopefully there's more people yo-yoing because of it.
Hey, Sean, what was the next question that's popped up for Mike?
We have the next question coming from Orlando Yo-Yo Club.
From Orlando Yo-Yo Club has a question for you. And what would that question be?
It is Mike, who is the most charismatic demonstrator you've gotten to work with?
Okay. Who is the most charismatic demonstrator that you've had an opportunity to work with over the years?
Well, it's probably Sean Perez, and he might be the one asking the question.
Kudos
Well,
for
when
him
you
if
said
he
the
was.
Orlando Club.
Sean Perez. All right. Well, a good man, Sean. There. I know he's been over here a few times. We've done some trading and stuff, so that's great.
Yeah, no, I don't know. He's the
Go
one.
on,
But when you
can
said
go on.
Orlando
Hey,
Yo-Yo Club,
Hey, Sean, just go on and just go on the mic and tell me what the question is so I'm not having to repeat it. Oh, okay, you don't have it with you. So, okay, I'll repeat the question. What is the question there, Sean?
The last one we have so far is from John Young.
Okay, John.
And it is, what was the first year Duncan Imperial?
What was the first year that Duncan made the Imperial?
I'm assuming, I read it as it was written.
That's a good question. I'd have to actually go back and look that up in my book. He's wanting to know what year Duncan made the first Imperial, and
I think it was 54.
Yeah, I know it was in the 50s. It was the Chevron seal Imperial. That would have been it.
Maybe we can ask Nick. He's really good at Google searching.
I think it's 53 or 54.
That sounds
somewhere
about
around
right.
there.
I know it's in my book. I just don't have that number right off the top of my head. But yeah, it was the 50s. It was I believe they were $1 a piece because they were made out of plastic, and they really advertised that was the new wave. Just like the old movie that said the future is plastic.
Hold on a second. John Marshall says it was released in 1961.
The Duncan Imperial, 61? Okay, they're saying it was released in 61. That's
I had to be before that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It seems
Let me Google search it.
now that might be the Fleur de Lis Imperial, but I think the Chevron Imperial was released in the 50s. But anyway, good questions there. If you guys have some other ones that you can think of, please let us know. So the cart is open at Disney. Is that right? We've got them out there.
Yeah.
We're doing social distancing and all that, but the Duncan cart is up and flowing.
Yeah, at the Disney's open now. I think they limited how many people per, in the parks and in the hotels. But if you go to Disney Springs, it's free, and you can see Sean Perez there
you
too.
go. Yeah, see Sean there. So,
Yeah, so we've
you-
closed on Mondays now,
Oh, okay.
or
Okay.
Mondays and Tuesdays too, because it's still not, it doesn't have the amount of people that we're accustomed to. But yeah, it's good.
Well, I know obviously all the tournaments are shut down right now, but you've got some interesting programs going on. We had talked earlier about the Cub Scouts program, and then the Boy Scouts program, which Duncan is kind of spearheading too. Let us know a little bit about what you're doing with the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. That's very interesting.
Yeah, we started a couple of years ago, so it's gradually progressing. But we used to start with those jamborees down in West Virginia, and a few of us would do some whitewater rafting and try to make some fun trips out of it. But they were 10-day jamborees. That's for the scouts, and there was like 80,000 scouts.
Those jamborees are kind of like the Burning Man, except there's no drugs and sex, right?
Right. And in this past, there's girls now, so there's boys and girls.
Oh, great.
And they had to make sure the tents are separated and
Yeah, that's going to stop people. Yeah.
right, can't sneak out of your tent at nighttime.
Right.
And but yes, we started and a program that we started with the scouts. It's kind of like a level up program where you get, like scouts, they collect patches and badges, and so we developed a program with the badges, and so you get a free badge. It's free to sign up, and you get a card, and on the card it's a level 1 card. It has 3 easy tricks,
And Sean, put up the, yeah, there we go. There's the picture of some of the awards that the scouts can win.
Yeah, so that patch, that's the initial patch you get for free. And then above it, if you do the 3 tricks for the level 1, you get that level 1 patch. And so it's all a stacking effect, and so you can put them all, sew them all on together.
You told me the wings were separate, right? What do they have to do for the wings now?
Yeah, so when you get to level 5,
yeah,
there's two bonus tricks. And if you can do those bonus tricks, each one is worth a wing.
A wing.
And so when you assemble it all together,
one of the bonus tricks, the whole thing is asymmetrical, and you've kind of twisted.
Yeah, you would not want to put it out.
He'll look at his little award belt there and hate Duncan for the rest, because he's got an asymmetrical patch.
You wouldn't be flying too well with one of them.
Now the go-to yo-yo for the scouts now, and it's a pretty cool looking yo-yo. Obviously, the only way you can get it is if you're a scout. You're using the Hornet, right? That's the yo-yo for.
Yeah, it's it's a custom Hornet, and you could buy it. You don't have to be a scout to buy it. But
all right. Well,
they get a special price on it, but you can buy it. Yeah, matter of fact, we just put it on Amazon. So.
Oh, okay, great. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, and so that one we use that as our that one and the Freehand are kind of the main ones that we would recommend. With those 2 yo-yos, a Hornet and a Freehand, you can do any trick on that, on all the levels, including the wings. So most of the scouts, they're just kind of getting into it. So you want them to have the success, up and down with an easy Hornet. And so that's with the scouts. That's the Boy Scouts. And then the Cub Scouts, that's more recent. That is involved. So the Cub Scouts is grades like 1 through 4.
I think Sean had shown a little belt clip that they. Oh, okay. Sean's going. Oh, that's a pin though. That's they can.
Yeah. So pin is for Webelos.
Webelos. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then the belt clip that he showed earlier, they clip on their little belt. Oh.
Yeah. So Boy Scouts have. Yeah, he's got it. Boy Scouts have merit badges. And in Cub Scouts, they have these little the little belt loops, and they literally just put right on a belt. And so as a Cub Scout, you have to earn a multitude of, I think it's 4 mandatory loops in order to get to the next level. And so now there's an official belt loop it's kind of an elective for yo-yos. And so as I don't know if you've ever been in Cub Scouts, but when I was in Cub Scouts, we had den moms, and now it's a den leaders, of course. And but yeah, so throughout a den meeting, you could earn your belt, your belt loop with the yo-yo. So
we just found out that the Nickanator, who is one of the pop quiz champions here, is an Eagle Scout. So he'll be wanting to get one of those yo-yos, I'm sure, to add to his collection.
The Nickanator's an Eagle Scout. Wow, that's pretty good.
Eagle Scout. So.
So he's probably been to a jamboree.
Oh, and assistant. What'd you say? He's a assistant scout. Master and a counselor too. Yeah, right. I know. You have to be careful with that kind of stuff. So you've also got a customized Duncan yo-yo program, which I've used myself. We used that for my yo-yos for the Golden Mile this year, which didn't happen. So I've got all these yo-yos that say Golden Mile 2020 on it. But
they're collectibles now, right?
Yeah, they're collectibles. Well, what makes these very, very collectible is that I think you said it was the first yo-yo you actually used for that 4-color print process, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah, you were the first one.
Yeah,
so congratulations.
So there you go. So it becomes a very collectible yo-yo. Now I'm just not sure how to get them out to people, but you were supposed to have to swim the mile and do it, but who knows? Maybe some will show up on some of our prize packages. So I know you know that I ask everybody, but I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite yo-yo? What is your go-to yo-yo?
Well, right now it's the Freehand AL. So
cool.
I kind of grew up on, I started this job when I was in my 20s. And so I grew up on freehands. And so now the Freehand AL, that's my favorite yo-yo.
So as we were talking before, you were talking about, I didn't realize you even collected yo-yos, but you kind of already mentioned that freehand's what you kind of grew up with. and you have a very extensive collection of freehand yo-yos. And I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I should go up. I know I've got at least a dozen different freehand yo-yos, so I start going up and pulling my freehands out of and I've got at least 40, and I know you've got a ton more than that. Do you have any idea how many freehand yo-yos are out there? Sean, can you show us the video of the freehands there? There you go. These are just some that I just pulled out of my collection. I had no idea there were so many different varieties of freehand yo-yos. So
well, we had a couple
a
of
rough
changes. I don't. I mean, it's hundreds, because we had
hundreds.
original freehand. We had freehand, what people call freehand 2, which was the next step, and then we have F80, and then things along the way, and all the customs we did back from between 2003 and 7. We did probably 10 to 12 different custom per year. And so we'd go out and tell all the customers and say, let's design some. So there's some old ones. Yeah, I don't know. You remember like yo-yo, like the extreme yo-yo with rich reins, and there's some really old ones that we used to have. We had the yo-yo Ninja Boy. So all the collectors would know all of these ones, and there's over hundreds, easy.
Cool. Well, I gathered that after I started going through mine and realized how many more you must have. And so, literally, that's a subcategory of yo-yo collecting, is just freehand yo-yos. You can make a lifetime of collecting just freehand yo-yos, which I think is pretty amazing. Sean tells me that we have another question. What's the question, Sean? This is from Patty Grande. This is the mom of the Nickanator, who has also won trivia contest here. So,
oh my gosh.
She wants to know, does Duncan have any new designs in the works that have not been released yet? Maybe you could just kind of talk to us about that monthly release you have of all those different, I forget what you called the program, but... we've come out with usually around a dozen new, if you include colors, maybe a dozen new yo-yos a month. And so it's all limited edition. And so I guess last spring we had the Freehand AL. Right now we're having one called the Haymaker Beta. And so we call it beta because it's kind of an initial run, but we're allowing the players to be able to give feedback on what the next model would be. And so there's that one's right now. And then there's the GTR Freehand. I'm sorry, GTR Beta, which is another one. So we didn't even name this one yet, except for we just have that so we're sending them out, and we'll get some feedback on them. Cool.
But what's interesting from a plastic standpoint, we're bringing back the Dragonfly this fall.
Really?
So,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, are you bringing back the Dragonfly with a slight variation on the logo, which all of us are collectors like, or are you going to bring back the same exact logo?
No, it'd be a slightly different logo.
Good for you guys.
We'll have the font. The font's going to stay the same, kind of that.
Yeah.
But and the shape would be very similar to the old one, but this would be like a plastic transaxle. We're going to try to. We're actually making it for a lot of the scouts because they're looking for a yo-yo that's going to spin a while, but they want to keep it inexpensive. So we're going to remove the ball bearing and have something to sell to them.
Okay.
So,
and you've got a survival kit too, right?
Yeah. So that one's online.
What's the deal on that? Yes.
So that one we created for the scouts as well. So it includes a Hornet, includes a freehand. And you get all these little goodies with it. There's some sunglasses, you got the trick book, there's the holster, like tape around your finger, which we've had a lot of people ask, why do you got tape in there? So, you'll find out, just hold on to it. Right. So you can buy that. The scouts get a deal on that, but you can get it that on Amazon as well. I think it's $25. Cool.
Hey, so, we got one more question out there. Sean, what's our question for Mike? This is from Judith Schultz, the top lady. She runs the Top Museum. And what's Judith's question?
What is your first yo-yo story?
What is your first yo-yo story? Pretty open question there.
Wow, yeah. What constitutes a yo-yo story? Maybe me accepting the job at Duncan.
Well, yeah. How did that come out? How did that come about?
Well, Flambeau owns Duncan, and
Sure.
so it's consumer products, and I used to work for a hardware store, and we used to sell Flambeau toolboxes, and so I got in that way into the marketing side, and I ran all the graphics and the graphic department, and then when the job opened for the Duncan sales manager, I took it.
Wow,
and so,
that's great.
Yeah. So, but what I could tell her a good story. I remember me and I think I might have mentioned this to you. Me and Steve Brown, when we first started running Freehands, we made them in the U.S. and we just had like a prototype mold, and we're spitting out all these transitional colors. And he and I spent one Saturday evening I'll take this one, you take this one, I'll take this one, you take that one.
Right.
So we have all these transitional, like freehand ones, the original, and I have a lot that I don't even think I've like assembled. Like they're still like just the shells, and so it's a good memory though. Yeah, it's a good memory.
Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Those were great insights, and I learned a lot of things I didn't know, and makes me want to go out actually to the website and start buying some yo-yos that I don't have. So I definitely want you to come back on the show and talk some more. You've got we got another question. One last question.
Okay.
John, let me hear what that last question is. Two-part question.
It's actually from two different people.
From two different people. I don't know how that works. Go on.
That sounds like two questions.
Yeah, it does sound like two questions. Oh, it's the same question? Okay.
Will the dragonfly be an NO plastic, and what type of response system will the new dragonfly have?
Okay. I think he already mentioned no, he didn't mention that.
It's a starburst.
Type of
just a starburst.
Response system. And what was the first part of the question, Sean?
Will the dragonfly be an
NO plastic?
ENYO.
ENYO plastic. I'm not sure.
The NEO is made by GE Plastics. So GE, they don't make plastic. They don't make that resin anymore. But unfortunately, no. But maybe we'll have to come out with something close to it. The NEO is like a little glittery thing that if you had a black light over it, it would kind of.
Oh, yeah.
It was like fluorescent. It wasn't fluorescent, but you probably have one, Lucky. You probably don't even know you have it.
I may, and you may not even know. You're probably right. I do have a GE plastic yo-yo that, but I'm thinking that was maybe a globe. But anyway, so I know everybody's itching to move on to the pop quiz, and we've got that very cool grand prize collectible package. And so I think we're just going to jump right into it now. Or not.
Doc Lucky's Pop Quiz. One shot, one champion. First to answer both questions in the Facebook comments wins. Get ready.
What was the first yo-yo to be released by Yo-Yo Factory? And question 2, name this famous yo-yo demonstrator. First yo-yo to be released by Yo-Yo Factory, and name this famous yo-yo demonstrator. Very famous yo-yo demonstrator right there. All the old collectors and players will know exactly who that is. And then the first yo-yo to be released by Yo-Yo Factory. We're getting some comments in. Yet. Still waiting for that correct answer to come through. Very close. No. Oh my God. He got it. The Nickanator won.
That's ridiculous.
That is absolutely ridiculous. I do not understand how he is winning these. Yes, it was the Fast 201. The Nickanator has won again, which all I have to say is it saves me a heck of a lot of money on postage. That's all I can say. I don't know how he wins repeatedly, and that was Barney Akers. So Fast 201 and Barney Akers. Some of you got the part of it right, some of you got the other part, but Nick put it together for the win there. I guess I shouldn't even say I'm shocked anymore. I don't even get it.
Feelings.
What's that?
I have no feelings.
Sean has no feelings. He's devoid of feelings. It's just, he says it's like a Dementor sucking the life out of him every time the Nickanator wins now. So anyway, congratulations to the Nickanator, and congratulations to John Maishral for winning that the lightning round. At least Nick didn't win both rounds this time. And again, thanks so much to Mike Burke for coming on the show. That was a great interview. I know I learned a lot about what's going on right now in the Duncan world. So we'll next week, I don't want to forget to say what's going on next week. We're going to, of course, have another lightning round and another big pop quiz package. We have another special guest, Frank Diffio. If you don't know Diffio yo-yos, then you're probably not a collector. Frank made some amazing early metal yo-yos, and he has donated a Rev 1 overhaul wide load mint in package signed by Frank Diffio himself. He is donating this for the lightning round, so this is definitely worthwhile tuning in to get a chance at that fantastic yo-yo. You're going to have to steal it away from the Nickanator. And maybe John's coming up to bat too. So anyway, as always, remember, you can never have too many yo-yos. And this is Doc Lucky signing off until next week.